Welcome to my channel. My name is Ria and today we're going to talk about the new moon happening in the sign of Aquarius. So let's get started. New moons bring in new energy that we work on for the next lunar month, the next 28 days or so. So essentially a new moon is a seeding point of new energy. Now this new moon is in the sign of Aquarius. The sun and the moon are together at 20 degrees of Aquarius and that's a new moon. Now this is an extremely significant one. The reason it is extremely significant is because Pluto just entered the sign of Aquarius. So for this moon, I'm going to give a little background about Pluto in Aquarius. And then we will talk about the aspects this moon is making and what else is going on in the chart. So let's get started. Now, Pluto here is at 0 degrees of Aquarius, you can see. And Pluto is a very slow moving planet, right? It spends a number of years in a particular sign. So from 2008 to March 2023, it was in Capricorn. Then 23rd March 2023, it entered the sign of Aquarius till June. Till June, it was in Aquarius and then it went back into Capricorn. Then finally, on Jan 20th, 2024, it re-entered the sign of Aquarius. We got glimpses of what Pluto and Aquarius energy is all about for us March and April, May of 2023, right? We got glimpses then because Pluto briefly entered Aquarius and then went back right into Capricorn. And then Jan 20th, Pluto entered Aquarius again. And now it is still in Aquarius. It will go back into Capricorn this year again, but for a short while from September to November. So we've completed a major 16-year cycle. We have a little bit to go when Pluto re-enters Capricorn September to November, but that's pretty much over, that 16-year Capricorn cycle. Now it's about Pluto in Aquarius. So think back to March ending, April, May of 2023, themes that came about in your life. That's what Pluto in Aquarius can be about for you, right? And now Pluto is in Aquarius, beginning a very long cycle of Pluto in Aquarius, right? 19 more years. So Pluto in Aquarius on a collective level is about technology. It's about progress. It's about the future because Aquarius is a very futuristic, progressive, innovative sign. It's about innovation. It's about science. It's about tech. It's all these things. So Pluto in Aquarius on a collective level will touch upon these themes, but in our personal lives, look for Aquarius where Aquarius is in your chart. That's the theme that's going to start getting highlighted for you. And also think about what started March, April, May 2023. Those are the themes that can be associated with Pluto and Aquarius for you. So coming back to this moon, Jan 20th, 2024, Pluto enters Aquarius again. And before that, on Jan 11th, we had a new moon in Capricorn square the nodes, which means karmic changes started Jan 11th. Things started to change. And then Pluto entered Aquarius, more change. And then we had the full moon in Leo, right? Which is where these changes really started to become real in a way. And now we're at a point where we have the first new moon in Aquarius with Pluto in Aquarius. And this is essentially the activation of Pluto in Aquarius energy to a whole new level, right? So what this new moon is going to do is kick off, activate this Pluto in Aquarius energy, these Pluto in Aquarius themes, and whatever those themes might be for you. It could be different for you, right? It could be something business related for you. It could be health related. It could be love related, whatever it is. But that's the theme that this new moon is going to activate in a very powerful way. So that's the first thing I wanted to mention, that it's not just an ordinary moon. It's a moon that is really going to kick off Pluto in Aquarius energy. And think of March and April, May, June, beginning June 2023, because that's when Pluto was in Aquarius. And think of the past 3 weeks, Pluto in Aquarius, right? That's what's becoming very real now. Now, that being said, there's one more thing I want to touch upon with Pluto, right? Pluto, you can see right now, is at 038. Now I'm going to go back to 2020. In December of 2020, Saturn and Jupiter met up at 0 degrees of Aquarius, right? And Saturn and Jupiter meet up once in 20 years, and when they do, they begin a new 20-year cycle. And that was at 0.29, right? And if you see, Pluto has crossed that point. It's activated the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction of 2020. Now, what does that mean? That means think of December 2020, right? Pluto has activated that energy in a certain way. It's taken it to the next level. And this moon is further activating Pluto in Aquarius energy. So in a nutshell, if I had to sum it up, I'd say this is a time of big changes that we worked on for the past 3 years, big changes that we've seen glimpses of over the last year, big changes that we've even seen glimpses of since 2020, right? Saturn was in Aquarius 2020 to 2023. So we know what Saturn in Aquarius is for us, and now Pluto is there. So this is about a lot of the past coming together to create a new reality for us, to create a new world for us, you can say. And I just wanted to mention that. And a few days ago, Mercury did meet up with Pluto, and now it's in Aquarius, right? So more activations of that Saturn-Jupiter conjunction that I just spoke about. Now let's talk about the aspects of this moon. I thought it's important to go over the past a little bit just to give you some context as to what is happening. So with this moon, this is at 20 degrees and it's making an important aspect, and that is an almost exact square to Uranus, right? Uranus is now direct. Last moon it was still retrograde, and now it's finally direct. It's making an almost exact square. Actually, by the time this moon happens, the sun and the moon both would have squared Uranus and moved on 19, right? 19 degrees. So they just moved off of that exact square point. Nonetheless, it's still a square. Now, Uranus is about change. It's sudden, it's unexpected. It does not do the expected, right? It does things differently. It does things in a unique way. It does things that it likes, right? It does not care for systems, for traditions. No, none of that. It does what it likes. It's about being authentic. It's about being unique. And it brings changes. And this is squaring, making a 90-degree angle with this moon. So what this means to me is changes can happen, unexpected things can happen, things out of the ordinary can happen with this moon, right? And that being said, let's ask the question, what does Uranus want from us? What does Uranus want, right? Why does it do things in our lives? Each planet does things in our lives because it wants something from us. Say, take Saturn for example. Saturn puts us through difficult times, through stressful times. Why? What does it want? It wants us to work hard. It wants us to become mature. It wants us to become disciplined. It wants us to grow up. And that's why Saturn does things in our lives. So Uranus, what does it want from us? Uranus wants us to be unique. It wants us to be authentic. It wants us to say, this is me, this is who I am, and I embrace myself. That's what Uranus wants from us. It's a very different energy from Saturn, right? So why I'm bringing this up is because all these changes, the unexpected things that might come about, the out of the ordinary things that might happen, the purpose of all those things is to make us ask ourselves, how can this event help me come into my own a little bit more, help me embrace my authenticity and uniqueness a little bit more. So that's what Uranus wants from us. And if we embrace our uniqueness and authenticity, if we do what is unique to us, that's Uranus's purpose accomplished, right? So that's how we have to look at all the changes Uranus can bring in our lives with this moon. Very important thing to note is Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius, right? Pluto is in Aquarius, this moon is in Aquarius. This moon is, in a way, all about Uranus, and Uranus is making a square to it. So a lot about changes, a lot about the future, a lot about the new world, a lot about tech, a lot about being unique, being authentic. And whatever is preventing us from stepping into this new world, from embracing our uniqueness, Uranus can remove it, right? Uranus can say, no, this needs to go for you to be your unique self. So it's not an easy energy with Uranus because it's so sudden and unexpected, but it's not negative, right? It's not negative. So that's something we need to be mindful of with this moon. The second thing that I want to talk about is that this moon is making aspects with the nodes, right? It's trining the south node and sextiling the north node, and that's also done. The sun and the moon both have already made this aspect exact, and now it's decreasing, but it's still there. And what this means is Rahu, the north node, is the future, Ketu, the south node, is the past. So again, a lot about stepping into the future, stepping into the new. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. The next thing I want to mention is the fact that we have Chiron here getting ready to meet up with Rahu, with the north node. And Chiron is an energy that can make us feel not good, right? It can make us feel a little doubtful about ourselves, especially when it's in Aries, and Rahu is just magnifying that energy for us. So the key here is to believe in ourselves. The key here is to have faith. So that's the Chiron North Node conjunction that's coming up as well. And we also have this energy right here. Mars is getting ready to meet up with Pluto. Mars is action. Mars is aggressive, right? And Pluto here is change, it's transformation, it's heavy. And this can mean that we are taking transformative, taking steps, taking action that are transformative in our lives, right? Alternatively, this energy can feel super intense. This energy can feel very heavy as well. And the way to deal with this is by just doing the work and being a little controlled with ourselves, right? Mars in Capricorn is exalted. It's exalted in Capricorn, but Mars is very impulsive, right? So here with these two planets coming together, it's great for taking action, but what we need to be mindful of is not being too impulsive. So that's also happening, and soon Mars will meet up with Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And what this means is we are in a time where big changes are happening. Big changes have been happening. Big changes will continue to happen. And with this moon, this is activation of this Pluto in Aquarius, and Mercury is met up with Pluto. Mars will meet up with Pluto. Venus will meet up a lot of Aquarius. And by say 17th, 18th of Feb, we'll have 5 energies in Aquarius. We'll have the Sun, we'll have Mercury there, we'll have Pluto, Mars, Venus, all in Aquarius. That's a lot of Aquarius. That's a lot of new energy, the new world coming in for us, right? We are wrapping up with Capricorn. We are wrapping up with themes from 2008. We are starting new themes that showed glimpses in 2023. And again, that are really setting themselves up now for a new life, for a new world. So a lot of Aquarius, and this is about being unique. This is about embracing the new. This is about accepting the change that's coming our way. So that's another thing I wanted to touch upon. And speaking of this, let's speak a little bit more about this. So up until now, Pluto, say last month before Jan 20th, right? We had Pluto in Capricorn, right? And if you see, Venus is still in Capricorn, Mars is still in Capricorn. We had Capricorn seasons, the Sun was there, and then Mercury was also there. So a month or so ago, we had a lot of Capricorn, right? And what is Capricorn? Capricorn is plans. Capricorn is structure. Capricorn is discipline. It's dedication. It's planning for the long run. So before Jan 20th, you can say, we did a lot of that, right? We did a lot of thinking, we did a lot of planning, we did a lot of structuring, we did a lot of decisions, discipline, commitments, and now we're at a point where everything's moved into Aquarius. all those plans, all those structures, all those decisions, all that hard work is now leading to a new world, Aquarius, leading to the future, Aquarius, right? Because now we'll have a lot about Aquarius, and Aquarius is about uniqueness. It's about embracing the difference. So that's where we are at right now. And few more things I'd like to mention. First thing is that all planets are direct right now. This is the first moon where all planets are direct. Last moon, Uranus was still retrograde. Jan 27th, 2 days after the moon, it went direct. But now on this moon, all planets are direct. Uranus, Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, Mercury, Pluto, Mars, Venus, everything is direct, which means things are moving fast, which means this is the time to start new things, set the pace for the whole year, because what we do now, what we sow now will grow towards the middle and end of the year. What we sow now is what we will reap later. So this is the time to really put in the work into starting new things if that's what you want, or doing anything, right? Because the energy is all about moving forward. The energy is about things happening fast right now. So make use of that energy. Oh, and I've almost forgot to mention that we also have Mercury and Jupiter in a square on this moon. Square. Mercury is building up to its square with Jupiter, and Mercury is our communication, Jupiter is a magnifier, and this is a square, a challenging aspect. So what we need to be mindful of is communicating in a very exaggerated way, maybe communicating in a way that's not our usual, right? It can really expand the way we communicate. So that's something we want to watch out for. And that pretty much sums it up. So in conclusion, this is an important moon. It is activating the Pluto and Aquarius energy. Mercury has already met up with Pluto. Mars and Venus will meet up with Pluto. A lot of activations, a lot of Aquarius. Pluto is at that point where Saturn and Jupiter conjuncted. It's already moved past 0.29 degrees. So that has been activated as well. And now the planning, the structures, the decisions we made December, Jan, right? That time when we had a lot of Capricorn, that's led us to this point where we are in a new energy, new world, new things are happening, and we need to embrace those things. We need to make those things a part of our reality, right? And with the square to Uranus, this moon can feel sudden, this moon can feel unexpected, this moon can feel out of the ordinary. And the way to manage Uranus is by being unique, being authentic, and realizing that Uranus can be overwhelming. And when we realize that, we can take steps, we can do things to maintain our calmness, to ground ourselves. So I hope this video was useful, and I will see you next time. And this is an important one. So have a great day. I will see you next time. Bye.